The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the hosts and guests and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the podcast platform, its affiliates, or even the hosts. The information provided is for general informational purposes only and should not be taken as legal, financial, or professional advice. The host and guests are not liable for any errors of omission in the content, nor for any losses, injuries, or damages arising from the use of the information provided. Listeners are encouraged to seek professional advice relevant to their specific circumstances. Now enjoy the show.
Hey,
Stop that. Me and my mouse are not having a good time.
That was you cutting and scratching.
I know. Yeah, I could have played it all, but no, me and Apple Mouse were not having a good time. Like, you stay in your place, mister. You.
It was pop lock.
Yeah, man.
Hi, everybody.
Like, remix.
Remix. Hey, y'all, what's going on?
See, that's what I'm telling you. I wish we had a soundtrack. We could just play in it. That would have just been perfect.
Right. Exactly.
I think it was technically.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to Running with Scissors.
Welcome.
Everyone. Thank you for coming back.
I was like, how's your week going thus far?
Busy.
I was about to say that Paul says everything.
Yeah.
This is the funnest part of my day so far.
Busy too. I guess, my daughter just got a new apartment. Her first apartment, so she's super hyped about it.
Oh, she got it.
Congrats.
Yeah, she got an apartment. So, I'm like, all right, I got to get some stuff for her.
All right, congrats. A clean slate for her. That's awesome.
She said,
Nice.
Mom, don't post it on Facebook.
Oh, well, you kind of just told the world.
Is this it's like the same? Is this the same as posted? I don't know.
No, it's just an intimate conversation amongst a million friends. Other than that, no.
Right? You kind of just told the world.
This would be the day she finds you.
We're happy for her.
Yeah. Congratulations, Big Tish.
Dang, a
I'm
verbal
gonna go over there on the weekend and check out and drop off some stuff. I had put a box together and I put some stuff in it for when she have her apartment. So I'll bring her a little box. Got some stuff in there for her.
You're such a good mom.
I got a proud parent moment, so you're supposed to rep it though. You know what I'm saying? It's,
she's been on her own, but this is her apartment.
Place.
By herself. Yeah.
Oh, look, that's different. Independence is solitary. Some solitude. Yeah, congratulations, homie.
She's an independent girl. She's been taking care of herself for some time now, but it's a little different now. So I said, hook up. I said, I want to give her the first apartment starter pack.
No doubt. What, pots, pans?
Yeah.
A couple pillows, a couple chairs.
Some silverware, some plates.
Some paper towels.
For her bathroom, y'all know.
Yeah, get used to that lawn chair life for a little minute, for at least a week or two. You'll be all right.
Exactly.
Yeah, lawn chair life. Anyway, all right. So, how are we going to do this today? We're going to jump in.
Well, I have something that I wanted to talk about because one of my, my cousin's man, he posted something on his page. I told him I was going to talk about this in my podcast. And he said, so he put something up and he said that, I think I'll read it just because I get a good,
Look, I thought that's what she was doing.
In my current path, I'm inspired by the dedication of young Black men who are striving to succeed. From their early 20s to mid 30s and beyond, they're focused on building a better future. This challenges the narrative that our young men lack ambition and aren't seeking well-paying jobs. Instead, I believe our women may be overlooking the opportunities available to them. I've noticed how women from other cultures take notice of our men in uniform. And this is his perspective, okay?
Here's one now. Here's a guy in uniform.
Right.
Hey, so you came right on time. So I'm reading something.
Okay.
What's up?
We're gonna talk about, and it says, I've noticed how women from other cultures take notice of our men in uniform, while our own sisters may not recognize their value. Talking about, I guess, men in uniforms. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So these young men are part of the 1% who are committed to providing for their loved ones and building a secure future. It's time for us to reclaim our own narrative and celebrate the achievements of our young men.
Right.
Can we just raise the percentage past 1%?
I think it's more than that.
You goddamn right.
I think it's a little more than that. So I thought that was interesting that he this whole narrative, and it sounds like what he's saying is that women in our culture don't appreciate the 1%, I guess is what he was trying to say, and in his, whatever he was talking about, the 1%. Yeah,
I agree with them.
like saying that we look down on men in uniforms.
It's not just the men in uniform. Let's be real. They look down on the men.
On the men, period.
Our culture is damaged. We don't appreciate our men. It don't matter what they get on. It really don't, unfortunately.
But I've heard, that women are not really interested in dating men who maybe are blue collar or,
no collar.
It
don't matter.
But look, the new women, they complaining when they don't have it. They complaining when they do have it, right? But they're leading towards I don't need a man and stuff. And then even when he have a job, they want to be picky about the job. They want to be picky about the money. It's just something to complain about. They don't appreciate a man. They really don't. So they looking at everything.
I find it really intriguing that this is because what I was going to bring to the table, you guys, was a meme that I saw, and I'm gonna just start off with you ungrateful. No, hold on. Anyway, hold on.
Yeah, ISO.
Let me dial it back. No, don't ISO, because some of the things that I really want to say, I'm gonna start saying, but I got more.
When have you stopped saying?
I saw a meme.
When have you not?
I know, right? It's just because of the fact that, like,
that means it could be worse.
Because my future could be watching this, and so I want her to understand.
You put the disclaimer up.
that this version of me passed.
Put that out there. I hear
Plural,
that.
futures, plural.
No, yeah, you're right. My futures, like so.
Don't listen to that.
Oh
Lord. So here's my thing, right? I saw a meme. The meme was, and it was this lady who looks like us, right? She said, "Man be like, I make 6 figures," and then below she put the 6 figures, and it was $103,857. I was like, I'm confused. like, is that not?
That's still 6 figures, right? It is 6 figures.
Right, it's
like I'm confused. Like the median income, the median household income is literally around about 60,000.
Right.
Exactly.
What exactly is the? I'm confused. Like,
what are you looking for? Like, what do you want to be? 600,000.
Right.
But I think that sometimes when they mention things like they make 6 figures, that's what they're talking about. They're not talking about the $100,000 guy, because to them that's not.
Right, he didn't say 600,000. He said 6 figures. Maybe she just got an issue.
But she got an issue with the $100,000 guy.
Which, to me, really just, don't get me wrong. I totally understand. Everybody has their thing. Like, for example, ladies who want the 6-figure dude, I totally get it. You want to be 6 figures, 6 foot tall, and all these other things about that man. Totally understand it. I get it. You want the gangster and the playboy. You want, but the sweethearted, caring nurturer. You want.
He got to gun and write poetry at the same time, dog.
I totally understand it. But, and mind you, and this, I'm gonna be selfish before I broaden it. But don't look at me crazy when I say I want a baddie. That is that.
No, you say that. What you mean?
To have the company of other women. It's not a crazy thing. You
It's
want
not.
you
It's
want
what it is.
something that is not only like is less than 1%, but it's less than 0.5%. Wild concept. So hey man, look,
The average
everybody
height of
wants
a
what they
man
want.
in this country is 5'9". The average.
The average height is 5. Mind you, that's for everybody. Anyway,
Let's be realistic.
Good luck to all of us that want what we want.
He said they want what we want.
So
Let's be
do
realistic.
you guys think that so you think that some people their wants are
Ridiculous?
yeah.
All right, I won't say ridiculous. I would say unrealistic.
Unrealistic. Okay.
You want 100% of it, and but I've seen the other people where they not even necessarily want 100%. They haven't even taken time to make a real list.
Mhm.
They just want something like real surface value. Like you say, they only ask for a baddie. They don't ask for a baddie with good credit that's going to come in there with their own income, and vice versa. Like, let's get some details in this. Don't just be willy-nilly with it and then mad what you got.
Look,
You got
So is it fair for them for someone to have these unrealistic wants and things? Or should you tell these people that, come on, bring that down some?
I don't think that anything that people say is unrealistic, because for it to be unrealistic, that means that it has no place in reality. There are people that check all the boxes that people want. Yes, some people's boxes may be a little bit more broader than others. Some people are way like, hey, I specifically want this, and this, and I totally get that. Some people might want a little bit broader. Like I understand that as well. All of these people exist. Like
they do.
If we can acknowledge that there's always going to be somebody else out there that's better suited for you, that looks better, or that
everybody has the one.
Like if we can acknowledge that, then I'm telling you, there's also going to be someone that checks just one more box or introduces you to a box that you never know that you had, and when they're like, oh, you know what? I sure do like stuff like that. I didn't know that I love home cooked meals as much as I did until I'm telling you, like I was like, it's here or there. I can make my own and whatever. But I didn't know that for me, I personally love to eat the cooking of my significant other or significant others, whatever the
especially when she could throw down.
Especially if they can throw down, absolutely.
Right? You just ain't had a good one yet.
Right.
But I'm sure that's with everything that anybody don't like. He's like, you just ain't had the right one yet.
Or if my wife is savvy enough and she's playing enough, she can get the other girls to cook for us. You know what I mean? Like I love also, you know what I'm saying? If she gotta have that, that ability to talk, like as well. I didn't realize how much I enjoy literally being on the phone, having long conversations until, I'm like, oh, you know what? I sure do miss that about, until you have these experiences. So different people will introduce you to different things about yourself that you never realized. Oh, hey,
that's true.
That. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I need that to feel secure inside this situation. Oh, hey, I need this like to make me feel as if like I'll be happy here with you. So I think that we can't say it's unrealistic. We can say that it's slim. You know what I'm saying? It's very, 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 very slim, but it exists.
It exists. But are you setting yourself up for failure? If your list is yay long, but you don't meet anything that's on your own list.
And that was my point.
Your own list?
Dude, if you're telling me that I need $100,000 to meet you and you don't know how to make your own $100,000,
right?
You telling me I have to have a house and a better car? You have,
but you don't have that.
You don't even have an AC unit in your crib. Look,
thank you.
I told
Stop
you,
playing with me.
Yes. But y'all, listen. There's always going to be someone out there for the ladies. Listen. There's going to be someone out there for you. I'm telling you. If you listen, shorty, that you in the back that's making $30,000, got 6 kids, ain't got no college degree. Shorty, guess what? You will. I'm gonna speak it into existence. You will find that 6-figure man that will take care of all of them kids like they his own. And I Promise you will enjoy your life right off into the sunset. But please, don't look at me crazy. The baddie of all baddies walks into my life and is able to call up different. Hey, Sean, tonight is your night. You gonna be cooking and
you have to make
these
sure
dishes, baby.
You have to make sure that you're willing to keep that stuff you're asking for. Like, relationships have to be balanced, and you have to have that not full yin yang, but you need to make sure whatever one doesn't have, the other one can pick up. You know what I'm saying? One good with money and one good with resources. That's a power couple. Don't be trying to have like trauma situations. We get along because we both lost our daddy. No, you know, let's not have that in common.
Yeah, don't usually work out.
I say, can we not have drama in common? Like, really start analyzing what you want and have some type of standard. Even if the other person doesn't have it, you don't have the 600. They do. Don't be jealous of the money they work for. You know what I'm saying? Don't be reaching in their pocket, counting their dollars, trying to be like, okay, well, that's mine. Be willing to do whatever areas that you didn't know how to do. Right. Get that thing, then do the work. Like, let's be real.
Agreed.
If you can't cook and they can clean, let's pick it up.
I mean, it's not so. Then that's not something that we should be putting out there that their goals are unrealistic, right?
Yeah,
have whatever goals. You like to have, but somebody has to be a success. Somebody, and at least one got to be a sex object.
Wow.
Do they?
Thanks, Brandon.
I mean, that's a clear example of you want.
You know you want to say something.
You want what you want.
You know what you want. Be clear about it.
Be
upfront about it.
Listen, and knowing what you want is half the battle. You know, just be honest with yourself about what it is.
That's key. Be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
Do both sides. What you want and what you
that's out here looking for love.
Yeah.
Well,
you got to be able to wake up and be able to at least look them in the face, for God's sake.
Hold up. Hey, you said be able to wake up. How about wake up and they have the same face? You know what I'm saying? Some stuff you'd be like, oh, who are you?
Oh, you said they one rainstorm from going to like misery.
They leg off in the bathroom.
Because if you're not honest with yourself, and that leads to disappointment.
Absolutely.
You're damn straight. We never going to a conversation.
Hey, look, or flat out trauma. Some stuff you just be like, oh, I didn't know you was like this. Take your time. Don't make irrational emotional decisions. Okay, take your time.
Right.
Make sure that the person. Everybody got luggage, so make sure that you want to carry the luggage of the person you bring it on. Like, ask some questions for real. Like, folks just be, you so cute, we get along. I think, you better make a I know situation. I think.
Yeah.
So true. So true.
There we go. Yeah. So tonight we are how to build a network as a community. I think this is going to scare some of our people.
I mean, my thing is, when we say a network, what exactly should be a part of the network? Like, what resources are we gleaming off of others? What exactly are we trading? What should our network even look like? You know what I mean? Before we start trying to just go ahead and start building it and sending people.
I'm glad that you said that, because everything that you just said is exactly what I would definitely want to talk about. We need to figure all of those out. We need to figure out what are the resources that we need. Or where are they located? Who has them? You know, we need to figure out what we're missing. What do we need to find? Like, we need to really play a very strategic, not game, but we need to figure out what are we missing and what do we already have that is in our community, and where else can we go to get it? Because we still in 2025 still playing stranger danger, and it's all about me. That's the problem. We don't have a sense.
Yeah,
it's technically all about you.
No, social media, you know, we're being conditioned to think that it's my world, right? I can post and do whatever I want. It's all about me. I don't have to work for anybody. I'm being an entrepreneur, but we have no clue and no sense of real community. And we need to be able to actually very, very strategically plan our relationships with each other, and not just our people, but with each other and those that care about us and respect us. We need to be real, because it's getting real in these streets. So this ain't even the time to be like, well, I don't know you, and homie, if you ain't got it, you won't if you don't learn to trust somebody.
That's right. Yeah. And like Brandon said, it's financial literacy first. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Because we already know how quickly our money leaves out of the community.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we have to start there. We don't even support one another.
Nope.
I would say properly communicating with people, because everybody wants something, but they don't know how to ask nor actually speak to someone to actually get them to understand your plight, nor actually respect you. You know, people come in demanding things instead of understanding the plight of the next man and trying to actually build from that point on of a level of understanding. So
building skills within strategic communication will be effective for every last person that is going to be a part of the community or a part. But my biggest thing is, like we still haven't locked down. Okay, what exactly are we looking for, right? Like, are we for like doctors, lawyers? Are we looking for electricity? Like, what exactly is it going to take for us to have a successful community, and then a successful community, a successful network, and then who exactly are we sending to be the representatives of this network to go out there and go, make those connections for us? And what's the
it has to
criterion
be,
in which
we
they're
have
going
to
to bring
connect,
back
because
us?
yesterday was Harriet Tubman's birthday, right?
Right.
Oh, shout out to
Happy birthday, Harriet Tubman.
Happy birthday,
And
Harriet.
it makes me think about how the Underground Railroad. I know it made me think about that, but it just popped up.
Right.
That was community.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The Underground Railroad was community. Even though it was like, listen, we had to lean on each other in order to make shit happen. Sorry?
I was gonna say, he ain't finished his thought.
He was talking. I'm sorry, my phone is tripping.
No, you good. I was gonna let you rock, because I immediately what I started thinking about was, I wonder how many times Harriet, like, what I'm saying, they had paused. She'd have heard them complain all night, and they sleep, and she just standing over them with a machete talking about, boy, had it not been for the fact I love my people, on everything I love, you Negroes.
I was listening to something talk about Harriet and the railroad, where she had plenty of different opposition because people were afraid. They were afraid of where they were going to go, whether or not they were going to be received, whether the fight was worth it, taking that risk, because they just knew if we get caught, we're dead. And they were afraid. And we are like that now. In 2025, afraid to go to places we've never been. We are afraid to take risks. We are afraid to fight. And it's been how many years? It needs to stop. It needs to cut out. Like we need to collectively cut out. To answer your questions, or at least the one about like who do we send out? We need to be individual representatives of our people. Each person needs to be thoroughly trained on all of this. I think we all need to be educated and prepared.
But how do you train someone to be fearless in a world that shows you so many examples of what happens when you step outside of the societal norms? How do you train someone to ignore all of that, stay rooted inside of the message, inside of the cause, inside of what the network is founded for? How do you do that in a world where that literally says, you know what, even with some of the things that have been passed recently, where you will be jailed, you will be, or you lose funding, if you decide to protest certain topics. It is in fact hard for people, especially if they have more than one person attached to them that is dependent upon their success.
It definitely gets scary going into that unknown and rocking any type of boat. I understand that. How do you train people? It's called faith. You need to think about other things outside of yourself and the people that you're worried about. Those stipulations, the rules change all the time, but that's why your faith has to be stronger than the law. You have to know that you are doing what's right, period. Whatever happens to this person, that fight is the truth. It is worth the fight for myself, for my children, for my community. It is what's right. Regardless of what's going to happen, somebody has to be up front to fight, period. So that the people in the back can have a chance to utilize what you're fighting for. That's like why you have the people like Harriet and Markham up front. People had to fight. Some people are going to get hurt, but you have to know that what you're doing is worth that. And that comes with faith, because you have to be able to think outside the box and not looking at the things that you don't know or that you're afraid of, because life is bigger than that.
I would say like this: we already know that some battles are not going to be fought by everyone, so there's going to be a level of attrition to this because everyone's not built the same way. Everyone's not built for the struggle, and that's just the fact of it. Because there's a reason there's fight or flight. There's a reason for that. But the people that are willing to fight need to make sure that they have the people behind them that want to keep going forward. Because a lot of people say, "Oh yeah, I'm with you, I'm with you, I'm with you," and then like you look around and now you're getting jumped because everybody else went flight.
So
so vetting is huge.
Yeah.
Yes,
that's why communicating with each other and find out what you have. Some people are built to be soldiers. Some people are secretaries. Somebody is just to, clean the toilets. Everybody has a job. That's why we have to respect each other's
somebody's on the lookout. They coming.
Look, everybody we have differences and we have to learn to respect it. Because I know in the culture when I was growing up, we so quick to want to pick each other and just tease each other for everything. You get picked on when you're smart, you get picked on when you're stupid.
Yeah.
Like as a culture, it's like we really need to get just let that go and really start healing collectively. Because we're dealing with a lot of trauma, generational curses, and we really have to have a clean slate and start creating history in real time. What sucks for us, our people, is that when we're behind the learning curve and technology and drama is increasing at a very accelerated rate. So we don't have a lot of time to get this together. We need to be like, all right, you cool, you ready, and let's go. Because that's we just need to be moving forward or get left behind.
Or get left behind. That's where it is. We can't worry about the ones who don't do. We can only focus on the ones that are doing.
Yeah.
And want to be a part of the program because
you have to be active in your freedom.
Yeah.
Very active. You can't be passive and say, "Oh, we're going to get to that." Like if you're not there with your sleeves rolled up, you shouldn't expect the fruits of the labor. Absolutely. Because we're not battling just for ourselves. We're actually battling for the future.
Yeah, and again.
Like that. Yeah, let's get dirty. I know that's right. Everybody has a talent that they naturally have. Your natural talents, that's a part of your purpose. That is one of the things that I teach. That's what I do. Where the things that just make you who you are, that combination is in no one else. No one else can do the things that you do or think the way that you do to get the ideas and just formulate all the different things that just make you who you are. So it's important for us to incorporate every person, the youth, our elder, that's our past and our future. Like we have huge gaps in our community that we have to fuse together and utilize everyone because everybody has something they can contribute. We don't get to judge what that is. We just need to listen to each other. And it's like, well, what are you good at? What are you interested in? What do you want to do? And then let them do it. And let them do it. We all have something to contribute. So I don't even think that we need necessarily leadership. God's the leader of everything. So all right, we already got one at least, but we just need to move. We need to trust ourselves better.
Yes, I agree. But there are some people that are good at taking orders and and I don't want to say following, but not everybody's going to step up to the plate and say, I'm going to be out front and do this. They are like, okay, what do you need me to do?
Right.
Which is good. You need everybody has a part to play. That's right. Called support. You don't get teased because you're not out front and being a leader. Somebody has to be up front. Someone has to be at the back of the line. If you know your position, this is in all relationships, whether it's platonic, romantic, know your position and play your part. Right. Do the best at it. You know what I'm saying? Stop complaining. Because we spend so much time complaining about what we don't have. And it's like, you wonder why we don't have this sense of community. Like we can't even be ashamed of ourselves looking at other countries, other cultures. That's like the way we push our kids.
People not wanting to do because for fear of being ridiculed or told that you're not good enough for that. So that's one thing we have to stop doing, to each other.
Stop functioning in fear and voids.
Yeah.
Because when we look at history, when we look at just, especially the things that come up now, those hidden facts that you didn't know, the people that created stuff and you just did not know before the race. This is the perfect time to really just be proud of who we are. We are spiritual people. We are resilient people. We are brilliant, creative. For real, every Black person and brown, and I'm gonna go back to the Black. I'm just saying, when you look at our culture in the United States alone and across the world, everybody mimics us. They're having surgeries and deforming their bodies to look like us. They are getting tans and spending money to look like us. So why are we behind and feeling ashamed? you better take a sip of that empowerment tea and be like, you know what? Good job, because I am worth following and I am worth looking at. And start
Indeed.
thinking about that about yourself, because for real, everybody in the rest of the world knows who we are. That's why they're afraid of us. So we need to know who we are.
And you know who we are? People with sponsors. We gotta take a break.
Commercial.
It's gonna be a party, y'all.
Tap into your essence with a Divine Essence candle. Candles that soothe your soul and balance your chakras. Each candle has an affirmation inscribed on each jar to help you stay grounded, create balance and harmony. Use code DE20 for 20% off your first purchase at divineessence.us.
And we are back. Big shout out to my main man, Ezel Moon. He had to go ahead and get some things done. Thank you for pulling up, sir. It's always a pleasure to have it. Let's reset the table really quick. For those who are just tuning in, welcome. We are talking about how to build a network as a community.
Awesome. I love that. I really think everything that we have brought up already is the truth. Like, it's no going back and forth, like, oh no, I disagree with you, or no, we didn't do it. No, everything that we mentioned is exactly what it is. Like, these are the things that we need. And I think all of us know that. I don't think that anything that we talked about and are talking about, people that look like us are even feeling like no, I disagree. I don't think we have a lot of people that don't agree with the things that we're talking about that we need. Now, whether or not they will actually participate or fight for it.
Yeah.
Right? That might be different, but Michelle, the way you just said, like, they may not, position themselves and want to fight, then go hungry then. All right. Like,
I'm saying, and that's the thing. It's sad to say that everybody ain't coming.
Right.
I mean,
that's the nature of man
in
general. Yeah. We can want the best for everybody. Look what happened.
We need all the manpower. We need everybody to be on board, but everybody's just not. So we have to work with what we do have. And if you want to learn, then we have to be willing to teach what that looks like. Because some people don't know what community looks like. Some people don't know what networking looks like.
No, that's a lot. I mean, I know just in my immediate household, it was really just like me and my two siblings, and my mom. Yeah. So it was just us. We didn't have cousins in the neighborhood or aunties, uncles. We were the only one in the state that we were living in, and we just kind of mind our business. We did kind of venture a little bit, but we didn't get to know people. My mom was a single mom when she was raising, so it wasn't like we were introduced to a lot of people. It was like, stay home. What happens in the house stays in the house. Like, just keep yourself safe. That's what was taught. It was like to be resourceful, ask your own questions, and keep yourself safe. But what we know now as adults, the generation in front of us taught us based on their fears and their beliefs. So I know how to keep myself safe. I know how to ask questions.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of other things I didn't learn. Right?
Yep. Can I add two things we need? Empathy and humility.
Mm.
That is Because you think just because your financial position makes you above someone, and you don't understand what type of knowledge they have.
Oh yeah,
And that's a big detriment to our neighborhood. As you see that guy, he might have been homeless, but you never know what brought him there, and you don't know what skills he has until you talk to that man or woman. Because you have some brilliant people that they're ignored just because they don't look the part of what you think in your mind. And you never understand them.
There's a lot of homeless people that got medical degrees. They were doctors. They were all different kind of things, but made a wrong turn somewhere.
Those are my favorite people to talk to.
What made for them?
What turn was made for them? Well, but then sometimes they get involved in drugs and things like that, and now drugs take them down that path. And next thing you know, you have a conversation with them, they're like, I got a degree in this, and I got this, and I used to be a doctor. And you're like, whoa, how'd you get here?
I knew a homeless man. He used to be a scientist, and he chose to be homeless. He was so smart. I mean, like the knowledge on him, it was incredible just talking to him. And he's like, my life is less stressful now. He chose it because his wife and his daughter got killed in the car accident, and he just couldn't do what he was doing before, and everything he was doing was for them. And he couldn't get over the fact that they weren't there anymore, and he didn't want to move past. He was completely in love with his wife, and he just was really genuinely hurt. But then as he was homeless, like in the first couple of years, he started seeing the economic changes. And he said, and he made a decision where it's like, I don't want to go back. If this is what corporate's doing, I don't want to go back. He's like, I do have money in the bank, but I don't want to have to worry about my mortgage and who's going to stab me in the back to get my position. Like he actually made a conscious decision to be homeless. He said, I can go where I want to. And he was so serious. And he was just the kindest person. And it was really interesting. Like, be careful who you're talking to. You have no clue who you're entertaining.
That's so true.
You don't know what the situation is at all. Do not write them off. I mean, they even say in the book that Jesus was not attractive. He was not someone that you would want to talk to or think anything special about. But here he was. He was still very special. So it's like we have to stop thinking that these cute folks is where it is, because
these cute folks.
The ones that look the part be the wolves in sheep's clothing. Okay?
Right.
They lead you down a path of destruction.
Okay, you gotta get some medium. Don't be all
Okay. Listen, chasing after what looks good, it's not always good for you.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Being
and that
humble
bothers me so much, man. How people just let the outer appearance and they never understand the person. That bothers me so much because I see it so much where I live at. Mm-hmm. And I have had some of the best conversations with random people that just have all this knowledge. And you're just like, dude, if you were just over here, or you were just here, or if you just had this desire to do this, dude, this would change the world. You'd be surprised what you can find just by being humble and putting yourself on other people's level to understand where they are.
Just listening.
Sometimes those are the people that you get on your team when it comes time to really build.
Mm-hmm.
They just need someone to say, come on, let's do it.
So they just need an invite.
Right.
Some people just need a chance, and some people just need an invite. I like that shit. That's a good one. That's a good one. But see, we don't in a place of stranger danger, like, but get on your own, take care of yourself. We'll never be able to build with that type of mindset. We genuinely, I wish we could. Well, no, I'm gonna take that back because we're doing it right now.
We are doing it.
Group therapy sessions, because we need to collectively heal. Like we really need to change that mindset, be on the same accord, and just be like, this is what we're doing moving forward. We don't even have to dig so much backwards and like, well, why? You have to look back. What are you doing tomorrow? You're trying to get history from 200 years ago. What they got to do with you today and what you're cooking for dinner? Like, I'm gonna need you to look at what you're doing this week for your community, for your family.
Be present in the moment.
Right now. Right? Because eventually, and not too far in the future. You can't keep waiting for that particular moment. I have to wait till I get all my ducks in a row. You don't even own ducks. Why are you talking about some ducks? Yeah. You have to get when I get my money, then I'm gonna take care of the community. Conversation goes a long way. People don't understand that you don't have to have the money and the resources when you have this sense of community. Your conversation, your ideas, like the things, even if somebody can't do, They might have the thought to put it in motion, right? The collective conversation and everyone's collective contributions, it don't have to be for you to do. We always think that I don't want to start something I can't finish. I don't want to be held accountable, right? So we just kind of be quiet. We don't want to rock the boat. It's just like, stop thinking that you have to do it by yourself. Sometimes all you have to do is be present. And like you said, invite that person, give them a chance. Because the person that they talk to may be the one who has all the resources. The next person might actually know how to do it. The next person that comes to the next meeting that hasn't even showed up yet may actually know the next person in charge that can make that decision happen. But you have to be open and inclusive. And that's why I said that faith has to come in there, because all that stuff is not up to us. We can't fathom everybody's moving parts, but God can. So let God control it. Like, just be present and know that you're doing what's right. Let God move all the pieces on the chessboard and just do your part. Play your position. And just trust that it's going to go. Like, we have to stop moving in fear. We need to start moving forward, not in fear.
Right. I pose a question to people. What do you guys think are the building blocks for networking in your community? And use examples. Feel free. And if you want to network with us, we got an email. So I'm shameless, by the way, just so you know. Yes. So you want to network with us? Yeah. We are unitedmyyahoo.com. Tap in with us. We're here to network. Just saying.
I network with so many different organizations in my community. Sisterhood is one of them, and they're a dope community. They're about just creating different programs within the community to help people who may not have, or people who are maybe homeless, people who, we're talking about homeless people, and my soul care sisters, we're all about healing, and so I'm anything that I can get into, and that's what I feel like is important. Tap into your own communities and see what's there. You got to see what's going on in your community so you can be
you got to go out.
A town hall meeting, go to a meeting, you have to. Town hall meetings are very important.
Thank you. Please say that again. Yes, town halls. There's so many people who we don't understand how our government works. We don't understand the lower levels. We don't understand who the decision makers are. And town halls, they're free. They're open to everyone. And we already know they don't advertise that. So people don't know. And that's why the people who do know, it's like, spread that wisdom, educate everyone. Like, don't get yourself stable and then move out the neighborhood. No, take everyone with you. We all want to go.
Right. And even if, and we know that we're talking about culturally, our culture, but sometimes you got to see what's going on over there so that we can bring back and help each other. So,
yes. Hey, look, let's be honest. We have been kept out of those rooms. So how are we supposed to learn how to maneuver in them? You bet. Look, we can be, I'm sorry for anybody, I know, because he's going to be on the disclaimer button, but we can be the same where it's like, I have a white friend. I have one, right? Like, I know some leaders. I know some folks that are in corporate office. I don't mean to shade my voice, but it's true. Whoever relationships, it's not so much what you know. We do know that it's truth in who you know.
Right.
Those relationships, you can learn from everybody. No, you don't have at the dinner table, right? But when they're talking, listen.
We want to know what they're doing.
Listen, ask some questions.
Yeah, we want to know what's going on, because we want to be ready. We want to be ready. We see the time that we're living in right now. We need to know what's going on.
It's like, stop complaining and listen. We get, and this is why I'm very cautious with Black History Month, because to me it is strategic. You get a new year, you want to do better for the rest of the year, and then we get sent into a depression every February, immediately before we even get started in the year. No, don't be mad at the white person. Study them.
Absolutely.
It's like they're doing a lot of stuff. I mean, not just the colonization, but it's like you just see how different cultures have built. I mean, everything from Native Americans, the Japanese, just Spanish. Look at how these cultures have built and sustained their cultures. And we need to take notes, because African Americans, we have no home. We have no history. We have nothing stable. We don't.
And we right, every time we get something, it's somehow or another, it's either taken away or we mess it up.
Exactly. Look, if they want to burn our city, go get some bricks. We're gonna get some cement. We're gonna build another.
Rebuild, or we're gonna stop them. We had to band together so we can stop them from doing it. Like, they don't have any more power than we do. I mean, technically, we get it, the powers that be, the government, and blah 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 blah. But they stick together. That's how they're able to come into our communities and destroy it.
How is it? And this is one thing that I say as our community that we kind of should be ashamed of, that we're just not fighting hard enough. And I'm watching my mouth, Royal.
No, I'm watching the chat. I'm just putting the disclaimer out to where, how is it that we have been fighting for our African American rights all these years, but then the LGBTQ and HDMI, whatever the different letters is, I'm sorry, HDMI,
just say HDMI.
I don't know the 1, 2, 3s of all the numbers. Okay, I don't know. It keeps changing. It keeps changing. I can't keep up. Okay.
Wait.
I'm trying to be respectful. I gave the warning. I love everybody.
Hold on.
The views and opinions expressed in
the HDMI took me out, dog. I was
not
like,
what?
Blue hell is going? The HDMI, dog.
Damn. Did she just say HDMI?
I know. I'm like, dog. What?
I love everybody, and everybody deserves loves, but it's confusing in these streets.
I know it's a lot going on,
right? It's confusing, and it changes all the time. I'm like, y'all run out of alphabets. I don't understand. Anyway.
That was funny.
But how is it that community can come and change laws, have days dedicated to them, like changing everything? And we have been fighting longer than them. Where's the community? Where's our fight? What's going on? How is that happening?
Marketing, my friend.
That's what we have to get to the root of.
It's marketing. It's a new group to market to.
We don't. We have to come together. We have to stop.
We already got our money.
Now and I think that a lot of times we're in a space of being selfish because we feel like being selfish is not a bad thing. Now, I will say that when it comes to your peace and who you allow in your space, you can be selfish with that. I don't have an issue with that. Mm-hmm. But that has been taken to a new extreme where it's just being selfish. I ain't doing nothing with nobody because whatever I do is not going to work. It ain't going to help nothing. Nothing's going to change. And that's what you hear.
Yes.
But with that mindset, then you're right. Nothing is going to change.
You get exactly what you speak into existence. And
how about you just do it anyway? And let's hope for the best.
Right.
Just okay, because you're guaranteed no if you don't try. It's at least a 50-50 chance once you actually do something. And that's why we have to be able to kind of hold. Of course, especially as adults, you don't want to be holding people's hands. Right. But I do feel that it's necessary that we need to make this change, and we need to hold each other and really just push through these barriers together. And we have to understand that we are learning. Transitions are always raggedy. Some folks is going to get hurt. It's going to look ugly. It's going to be scary, but we have to be consistent because consistency is how change happens. You can't just do it and then be like, oh yeah, we got a month and we're going to chill now. They gave us Juneteenth. We're going to chill now. It's like you don't want nothing else for Christmas. What's going on? I'm just saying.
Because my thing is, what if we did this and something great happened? Let's
like,
do that.
DEI, I can go to Target. How about you make a Target? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, look, Target is a perfect example how we came together, and look what we did.
But that was just after a couple days. Let's hold out for a month. Let's start demanding.
Well, no, I mean, I haven't been in Targets ever since they decided that they were gonna, withdraw DEI.
No, I know, but I'm just saying that
that's been going on.
Because it's been. I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that we still need to think broader. We need to dream
going
bigger, right? We need to go hard or go home. If we can do it for a day, then we can stand on the lawn and demand some changes as a huge group. Plan a trip. Hey, look, we're all going down to DC for a day. Not just to go in the store. Like we need to be strategic. But we need to be able to get together to plan, to talk, to cry, right? Like
Underground Railroad. because a lot of things that we put out there, everybody's listening to. We don't need everybody knowing what we're doing.
Have you seen? I'm sorry about the other people that don't look like us. Have you seen the videos of them avoiding Target too?
Yeah.
Right? Did you feel a certain way?
I mean, I guess, because DEI not only just, it doesn't just affect us, you know what I mean? There's so many.
I don't care because I don't.
But let's be honest.
I want to go shop there anyway.
Look, but the one thing that as Black people, we're so sensitive. We want it to be our own, our idea, our faces, our Black name, right? But we have to be realistic because the world, it does include all of us. We do ourselves an injustice, not including other people. There's only but so far we're going to get this far behind. We have to include other people. It just makes sense. So even though it does feel a certain way, and I can say that it does for myself. I was kind of looking at them like, I don't even know you was invited to the party. How'd you get that? Right? But
because they feel like they're being affected by it. So it figured, okay, we're going to boycott it. But see, it makes me wonder if it was only affecting us, would they still be boycotting? Absolutely not.
Probably not. But you know what? But one thing that I do believe that as for our community, as long as it gets the job done, we shouldn't take away or the hows and the who's, right? Because we have a mission to accomplish here. And we have to be honest. After like George Floyd, you seen all the different colors in them parades, right? You seen all them different colors writing letters to their congressmen, this and the other. You think they was just reading our letters? And would we get that same response if the other people wasn't participating? We got those numbers because it wasn't just us and those people avoiding the stores and staying out of Target and walking down there and marching. And that's the truth. If they respect us and they want a part, fine, you can come to the cookout. You don't get no passes. So you can't get no passes and do whatever you want. But if it's going to increase and expedite what we're trying to do, because them lawmakers ain't listening to us. So we do have to include people who know how to get behind the game.
Yeah, to some degree, because including, we're not included. So why do we have to always be the ones to give in to include them?
Well, okay, we're not really, it's not about inclusion, it's about finding allies in a battle, because no war is fought by yourself. We need allies. We have 100% of not a goddamn thing. So
but we're not an ally to them. But we're not allies to them.
But that's why collectively for ourselves, we have to make sure that we get what we need during that time period. We can't back down, keep our stuff quiet. We have to make sure that we are at that table.
Use us for their benefit, but
that's why you use them
on the front lines with us. They're not looking at us as allies.
Some do. I can honestly say that some
I can't say that for everyone. I judge a man on their merit. You know what I'm saying? Because something got them outside marching.
I have until the shit hits the fan. Then you see about that merit.
No, but we think that about our own people too, though. Because so many people are down for the cause until the water hoses come out. Then everybody got to go to work.
Because the truth,
you know what I mean?
Look,
everybody got a job now.
Some of the first people running like us.
Yeah.
But that's why individually, it's your own responsibility to take advantage of that knowledge that you're learning, to collect your resources. Because it's a surviving game, right? Everybody's going to do what they need to do to survive. So it's like you can't necessarily fully trust everybody, but if you at least go into it and you give it a good, hard, honest, collective try, and use them the way that they use us, you could get some things done that would move faster.
Okay, yeah,
I'm not. Like I said, they ain't got to always come to all the cookouts. There'll be some cookouts that we ain't sending a big invite to.
We want to invite the ones that can dance good.
Stop it.
They're invited to the cookout because he can shake a leg. Get out of here.
Because nowadays, like really, when you think about just America, we are a mixing pot. I can't believe the way they talk. It's like you do know that you are immigrant too. You wasn't from here. Like we need to be able to be strong enough and just understand that that's a fact. That wasn't an opinion. I didn't make that up. That was truth. You deal with it because it's true. You eat it. You know what I'm saying? Like we just try to be quiet and we try not to rock the boat because we don't want no drama.
We got to start rocking it. Let's start rocking the boat. We got to rock the boat.
Look, you grab a side, I'm gonna grab this.
Gotta rock the boat. Gotta rock the boat. None of that trying to stand in the middle.
Playing Aaliyah in the background. Because of Congo.
We got to rock the
But
boat,
it's,
baby.
That is funny.
look, it's true. It's just
Right.
true. We are so nervous, but we have to understand transitions are uncomfortable. So get
Indeed.
ready to put your seatbelt on, because this ain't the time. The way this stuff is looking underneath our leadership, this ain't the time to be selective with it. It's either you're on board or jump off the boat. Like it's just is. It doesn't, and look, that doesn't matter what color you is. I love you all, but if you didn't come here to really be a part of something, then you're in the way.
You are in the way. I wonder what Harriet did to the ones that was in the way.
I bet you they just left. They just didn't. They cried themselves to sleep. They avoided her, and they didn't show up in the morning when they were supposed to move.
Obviously, you guys didn't read history. It wasn't no walking away from Harriet. You went to the upper room. It wasn't no go back. Once you decided to dip, y'all didn't read the books. It was no go back. Oh no. You got to do it.
Okay, you see what I'm saying?
I can see that. No witnesses, because
that's what I'm talking about. Harriet wasn't playing. Either you're coming or you're coming. That's it. Either you're coming or you're going.
I was like, it wasn't no go back. Are you kidding me? No, you're done.
I understand it, but you have some people that literally just like their fear has them frozen.
Yeah.
Look, the
and
food
Harriet had them frozen too with that 45 she carried.
Look,
she had
the
frozen
food
too.
is bad. The prices are going up. At any point, if we had another COVID or pandemic, we are all on the same playing field. Just real quick, all of a sudden, we all are struggling. But what are you going to do? You're going to wait till it hit before you be like, okay, well, now I need to get a plan. I think we've had enough examples in the past 10 years alone that it's time to put the plan in action. If you are just now getting some type of idea of what you need to do next, then you already behind. Hurry up and catch up. Like hurry up and catch up. And truth be told, too, even though we don't necessarily know how, we don't know how to do it. We don't know how to meet strangers and how to approach them with ourselves. I think it's funny because like when we meet people as Black folks, you be lucky if you get the government name, right? But when you meet other cultures, they tell you their first and last name. You probably get the address and their blood type. Like they just is really willing to share, but their marketing moves better. Because when you don't have to pull teeth and ask 20 questions, you can kind of get to the point of why.
I push back on the name part, right? Because a lot of people will give you their government name before they give you their actual family name. Because a lot of cats is not, they may have Jamal on their actual like birth certificate, but they're technically Man, Joseph, or whoever. So I look at it as someone who really trusts you when they give you their family name, what they're referred to, not what's on their birth certificate. I know that's really big in Detroit. Like, yeah, you might be Rodney on your driver's license, but you definitely Maine.
But see, that's why,
yes,
as a culture, we need to just walk around in our truths. If your name is a complication, like you can't even proudly just be whoever you want to be and get past that. That's the problem with the other community with all the letters and stuff like that. Y'all weighing too much on your name tag. That is not who you are. That's just your name.
Right.
Move past that. You know what I'm saying? Like if we can't move past just the stipulations of what your name is, then what can you do and contribute to your community? Because we can't even get to that part because that's 20 questions later.
Right. That's right.
It's like we're still trying to. Our culture has a full blown and this generation identity crisis is a real thing. We spending way too much time and money on our identity. Your identity is within you, is between you and the Lord, and you know who you are. You should. You got to just make sure that you stop looking everywhere else and then just be that person. You don't have to get proof. You don't have to ask permission to be who you are. Just be and start doing some things. Start contributing. Start building some stuff. Learn something. Teach something. It's simpler than we think. We got this stuff so complicated with the stipulations and the black and white. It don't matter what they do down on Capitol Hill. What are you doing in your house? What are you doing for your family? What are you doing for your community? If we just did what Michael Jackson said, look at the man in the mirror individually, and we just started working on our healing of our own so we can really get past this identity stuff and start our foundation, getting our core together, we can really make some change. Because like I said, the rest of the world sees who we are.
I think a lot of, because this is the time for healing, I think that's where we can kind of get caught up in being selfish, because it's like I have trauma, I have to heal, and I'm stuck in that space of healing. So I feel like healing should at some point lead to evolution. Like you can't just stay there in that space of healing. I'm healing my trauma, and that's, you're consumed by it. And then I'm not speaking to anyone who's dealing with, life stuff. I get it.
Yeah.
But healing should lead to evolution. Healing should lead to evolution, because we are healing. We're moving forward. We have to move forward. We have to get to a different place. I don't know if that sounds harsh to some, but
growth is growth.
Truth is truth. I mean, look, sensitivity. That's enough for a whole nother show. We're way too sensitive. We are too sensitive to be so desensitive.
And I'm guilty of being that way when it comes to, like, I don't want my words to be taken a certain way because somebody might feel the way. I'm moving from that because some things need to be said.
Right.
Truth is truth.
Like if you're in a place for 20 years and you haven't come out of that,
it might be you.
Something got to change. You know what I'm saying?
If it's not working, when are you going to determine that it's not?
Then that means to work on yourself. Something has to change. Trauma is trauma, and everyone's trauma is different.
And it's real. We're not saying that it's not. What happens to you, no one else gets to tell you, oh, that's not that bad. We all think that our pain is so much worse than everyone else's.
Absolutely.
That's not true at all. So don't be like that. That's how you get cussed out. Like, don't be like that.
Yeah.
But we can't walk around being victims and products because typically we all are. I mean, really, look, the country didn't just lie to me. It didn't just lie to her, him, or you. It lied to all of us. All of us. The United States of America, all right, I'm just saying, lied to us. And that's just the truth. So, like I said, your pain is not more than mine, and I'm not going to belittle yours. We collectively have work to do.
Work to do.
When I say too sensitive, do I mean easily offended? I'm just gonna say yes, but that's not even just. I'm gonna just go ahead and say a good old yes in all capital letters for that. Because we are. Everyone wants communication style to be their own versus the fact that we all have an individual communication style. You can't make the whole world function the way that you need. Because that's the way I understand. Well, what about the way that I understand?
There's because everybody was walking on eggshells.
Right? But exactly. And guess what? When you just know that it's facts, or when you're just confident, or when you're just not, when you are in a place of peace, and when you are in a place of healing, that stuff don't feel that way no more. You take your power back. So if you are easily triggered, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, negative, positive, if you walk around with triggers, then you got some healing to do. And that's not my problem. That's not to be not sensitive to your situation and what's going on in your needs, because that's anybody, and that's all of us. But it's the truth, where it's like there's too many things in life going on, and if you get stuck by your emotion, which is natural, but if you get stuck on your emotion where you're missing the facts, then that's your problem.
Then because your triggers are your triggers. They're not mine.
I would say this. It kind of sounds a bit contradictory because you kind of said like, yo, everyone's got their style, but then you said, but you're easily offended. So how do we draw the line between being offensive and actually people being triggered? That's a very slippery slope because, yeah, we do have to learn people's style, but that's where the empathy comes in, where we try to understand people's plight as we say stuff.
But that's why you listen. Everyone has to listen.
Yeah,
because you don't walk around intentionally trying to offend people. Some people do. You're being yourself. And you're you're talking the way that you talk. Someone's offended by that. You're not directing this at you. I'm intentionally trying to hurt your feelings, but I said something that was offensive to you. Now, was I really being offensive, or were you hearing something that triggered you and made you feel a way, but it wasn't really about you in that moment?
That one. Most of the things that we are offended by is from something that is not even present in that moment. That's why it's called a trigger. It's triggering you and it's reminding you of something else. And people who, if you've been on your healing journey, then you know that. And the ones who haven't, ta-da, there you go. Because that's what it is. You're being triggered and stimulated because
You
it's
triggered me just now, Pretty.
I'm sorry.
The ta-da took me out though. She's like, ta-da, like jazz hands. Like,
Ta-da.
right.
It's stimulating you about some PTSD. And when you understand that the emotions that you're feeling don't have nothing to do with the person you're looking at, then you'll stop trying to make them make up for it. Because it's probably not them. They're reminding you of something else.
It's the truth. It's the truth. It is the truth. 100%.
You got to figure out what that is.
You got to figure out what that is, because now somebody's coming at you saying something crazy to you. Now they're trying to get at you. That's something different. But we're just having, like now, Penny is talking. Somebody's listening, might be triggered by what she's saying. And she's not even talking to them.
Right? What are you doing?
Or anyone else.
Right.
Because we get on this show, we say a lot of things. And
I can hold you. The HDMI took me out though. I'm just saying.
That was good. We say a lot of things, and we're not necessarily talking to any one person. Somebody could walk away from this situation and go, I ain't watching them no more. Because they triggered. I got triggered.
And all I can offer is apologies and see you later. Send a homie. That's, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm just saying.
Send a homie.
Can I apologize for something that wasn't in? You know, I'm of the mindset that I will apologize if you were offended by something that I said that wasn't intentional. I apologize that you were offended, but I don't apologize for what I said. Because I think that shit. I mean, it's, you know, I'm serious.
But at least for those who are aware of what they're saying, because some people just talk, they're not even thinking. And if you get out of your feelings for a second and you just observe people, you can have that discernment, and you know when somebody's just talking out the side of their neck.
Yeah, and they
trying to not even thinking, they just careless with their words. And that's probably even one more person where you probably really got to make sure, don't let them tempt you to go to jail. Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't make no sense. You function in ignorance. I'm not losing my job for you. That's when you have to have your own discernment, because you can tell when somebody is trying to hurt you. They're going out their way
on purpose. Yes,
but let's understand that them negative elements is real. You don't know what kind of day somebody's having. That grace and mercy needs to be upon everyone, because sometimes it really just ain't about you. This song is really not about you. I'm mad and you triggered them. They might be coming off on you because you triggered them. You don't know what somebody's triggers. It could be something simple. It could be a simple gesture, and you're making them thinking about what their father did before they threw a glass at their head, that he might have always took a deep breath and sat back. You could be doing something simple like that. You don't know what someone's trauma is.
Wow, that was very specific. I was like, wow, wait, did we go somewhere?
Hey, look, I have worked with many people. You don't know what triggers them. Like I said, I've seen all kinds of different things. You'd be surprised at stuff that people go through, especially during childhood and abusive families. You know, just like, what was a real big trigger? One big trigger this person had.
Homie, don't play that.
A simple clap would trigger them, because their father would do like this clap to get their attention. Like this was the hurry up and listen to me. And it would be right before he would go off. He would clap his hands together. So you can just be walking around and trying to get their attention. They're talking over you. Hey, I'm talking to you. Now they about to fight you. Right. You all you're doing is like, I'm just trying to get heard. I'm just trying to get heard. But you don't know. And we have to remember that. Right. We're so busy trying to defend ourselves and be heard. Who are you? You're trying to make the whole world listen to you in your learning style.
Right.
Gotcha. So I have one question for you.
The best way to learn their trick is to be patient and listen. Now, I agree if that's somebody that I know.
Right.
If I don't know
strangers too, though, they have good stories.
But no, I'm saying is that if a stranger is being triggered, I don't know this person to even listen to them.
Right.
To know why they're triggered. Now, my loved ones, my people, my friends, the people that I know and I interact with, you know, we communicate. We know each other's stories to some degree. So I think that we are mindful about things that we say to one another because we care. We care. We don't want to offend each other. Mm-hmm. But when you talk about a stranger,
Same thing. Same rules
Right.
apply. Relationships are relationships. They're not just platonic and romantic. Your neighbor, that's a relationship. Your coworkers, that's a relationship. The people you go through in the, like you're building relationships because you never know when you're gonna see somebody twice. The world
Right.
is small. So, you know what I'm saying? Your first impression may not be just the only time you come across with that person. That man, the world is small, like for real.
I agree. I just
You
don't
want to
think you
be
should go around just being offensive to people just on purpose. I mean,
Right.
you try to be
So-
kind, you try to have compassion, you try to have empathy. If you operate in that space, then I think you're winning. But
Right.
if someone is
communication is what we're getting at, and having levels of it. Because
Yes.
what I was thinking of is while we're going here, like I keep hearing communication come back. So if you guys could put it into two things that we would need to start a community, what would they be?
I mean, we talked about community. That's big.
No, but I'm talking about as we two things you can do to start your community. They don't have to be monetary, but
To start the community.
To start the community. Because remember, we're trying to bring it to like a round figurative things you can actually do in your community. So what would be two things?
My two things. You got two?
I got one probably. I probably got one, but go ahead.
My two would be trust and forgiveness. I say trust and forgiveness because the trust, without the trust, you'll never try anything new.
Yeah.
And without that forgiveness, then you won't give anybody a chance.
Yeah. Well, I got empathy, and that covers a whole lot of stuff. But that covers compassion, that covers kindness, and all of that. So I'll go with that.
Good one. That's a good one.
Communication and humbleness.
Being
humble goes a long way.
Humility. Yeah.
See,
I don't care. I used to be terrible. I tell you,
well, I'm not saying don't be in your bag. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you need that ego to get shit done.
I know where I was before, which wasn't a good place because, I would just say whatever I wanted to say. And if you was offended, oh, well. You know what I mean? But that I realized that came from something that I was dealing with internally. It had nothing to do with anybody else. It was just like, I'm going to be heard and I don't care. If you don't like it, you're going to hear me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
we have a lot of that in our community.
And that's a lot of us.
Exactly. We have been hushed. I remember growing up, and it was, especially in other cultures too, in other countries, like children are supposed to be seen and not heard.
We grew up with that.
I had so much to say. I hated that. That was one
like that.
That's what I'm saying. And it's like, when that's your normal, then that's the kind of adult you become. If you don't make a new decision on your own, you teach that moving forward. And then we wonder why we can't talk to each other.
Right.
You tell them again about the healing out loud, because that's what I'm saying. Like, if you know that you were hushed as a child, that's probably why you don't like authority. This is why we don't respect our men. Okay, we have problems with the authority, people yelling at us, not being heard. So we do the opposite. We want to be loud and we want to be in charge.
We're going to be loud because you're going to hear me.
That is called a defense mechanism.
To be heard.
Every night I gotta fight to prove my love.
Wait, I was on the phone with Penny the other week, and we got to the root of why I have such a phobia of the dentist.
Wow.
It was so
crazy. Because she was like, there's something there that's because I'm like, I have such this phobia of
she made a plain sentence. It was just like, yeah, I'm coming from the dentist and everything's cool. I just really don't like the dentist. And it was like, well, why not?
Yeah.
After you left though, that's funny.
Yeah. No, but I have to go because I gotta go. But it was, and I was telling Penny what it does to me. Like my palms sweat. I get, it's anxiety, like it's really high. And Penny was like, well, where's that come from? And I'm like, I don't know. And then how Penny does. 5
seconds later, she was able to pinpoint the memory. It was like, well, now that I'm thinking about it, this and that happened. I was like, well, that sounds like trouble to me. Where you go?
And I was like, that's weird.
Right.
Hey, look, I tell everyone the 7. Have you guys ever heard like the seven whys?
The 7 whys. No.
Have you ever heard that before?
Lightning. No.
Okay. So it's an exercise that everyone should do. When you ask yourself a question, like you're trying to find an answer of why you get stimulated, why you're sensitive, why you have a trigger, why you get anxiety, anything that triggers you, whether it's good or bad. It can be both. If you get stimulated emotionally, ask yourself, why? Why did this make me feel that way? That's one why. So then when you get that next answer, okay, I like when I hear the ice cream truck. Okay, well, why do I like when I hear the ice cream truck? Because it reminds me of my childhood. That's two. So what does it remind you of your childhood? Why? Because when I had the freedom to go outside with my friends, that was something we used to run to. It was something we did with my friends. Well, why is that important? Because I'm the only child. I don't have brothers and sisters. So I enjoy when I'm with my friends. And this, you see what I'm saying? It goes down. If you do that 7 whys, you are almost 100% guaranteed to find out the source of where it's coming from.
Yeah.
That why of I like the ice cream truck usually triggers down to
something
my
else.
mom was not really home. She was always at work. So I valued the time that I had with my friends.
Or you like ice cream sandwiches.
And now you're wondering why you got 3 necks because you always eat ice cream. So
and it's interesting because I do that without even knowing about the 7 whys. Like I'm, I used to be a person that was always like, I'm triggered. And I'm like, I don't care if I'm triggered. Like nobody wants to hear that. So I stopped doing that. And I started to ask myself, why am I triggered? Like, why did that thing trigger me? Why does that thing irritate me? Why does that thing piss me off? Because why am I irritated by that? Like, why? And then I would, like Penny said, I would go down this whole long thing, and then I'll be like, okay.
Okay, you remind me of my aunt too that always used to yell at me all the time. That's where that came from. You'd be like, that's why
sometimes we sit and stop blaming other people for some of the things that we want to play the victim for. We can get to the root of a lot of our issues. But sometimes we don't want to do that. We want to say it's you're the problem.
Right, I'm fine.
You said something to me that irritated me.
We think that we know ourselves, especially when you are an adult and you figure you don't put some time, you don't invest it into who I want to be when I'm growing up, right? I'm grown. I can't stand that term. But you do that, and now you are loyal to the character you created without even asking yourself, why was that character important to create? So then you're loyal and you just know, I know myself. I know myself. Do you? I challenge everybody. Do you really know yourself? And I promise you, you don't.
That's your homework.
Yep.
If everybody did that, if everyone did that as a community, individually, if everyone did their healing homework, she gave it to you. If everyone did that individually, when you come out of the threshold of your house, you will be a better person. And then you will be less worried about the things in the dark spots of your mind in the back of your heart, because you are ready to go through life fearlessly because you understand the fear now and you took your power back.
Yes.
Got it.
And on that note, I think we're going
to
get
it's time to go.
That was good.
Hey, you got my homework
today. Have your homework for next week. So join us. Join us next week. We marking papers next week, okay?
Right.
I think next week's show is a little bit lighter. I don't know. We've been happy this whole season. We've been talking about community and all kinds of different things. But it's needed though, especially during this time.
Oh no, I know what it was. I know what next week's was.
What are we talking about?
What other things can you be addicted to that's not drugs?
Oh, well, we know
podcasting. I'm addicted to podcasting.
He brought that one. I was like, because you know what? Because that's the thing. We need to start sorting out some truths, okay? Because you can get addicted to way more things than that. Good gracious. See,
sometimes we want to call it a guilty pleasure, but we're gonna see y'all next week.
Right? Let's get some truth.
We're gonna talk about it.
Hey, all right, this is gonna be interesting. Right?
Yeah.
Which advice will I talk about next week? Tune in. Which advice?
Yeah, but before we go, make sure you guys tune in. And if you love what we are doing, please consider donating to the show on PayPal at OurGainsII, or proceeds go to the operating cost of this network. And if you have an idea or a topic that you would love for us to talk about,
or you want to network
with us, because we're all about communities, powering members.
Okay.
Drop us an email at weareunited@myyahoo.com.
go to the website and push all the buttons so that we can start building
Yes.
our resources. Okay, wink, wink for our community.
Yeah,
If you know a business, some entrepreneurs, send them this way. Okay, we are a resource to collect.
Yes, and we network, and we're about building a community and building legacies. That's what we're about. So go check out our website.
We're not just
talking. Yeah, we're not right. We're just out here talking. We're trying to build something here. We are trying to build something. No, we are building something. Not trying. We are building.
We're taking you with us,
and we're bringing you with us. So.
And if you turn around, we're gonna shoot you like Harriet Tubman. So you might as well just come on.
You better come on. Ain't no getting left. You either coming or you going.
Just saying.
This boats are rocking. All right.
You going forward or upward? Take your choice.
You better get your seatbelt and your vest on. You better get your
onward or upward.
Yes. You going somewhere though. You going somewhere. Stop playing with us.
Everyone, have a good rest of your week.
Peace and love, everyone. See you next week. There's power in the numbers.
Indeed.
Yes.